I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. If you celebrate, we just got back from vacation and I have these scraps on my desk, right, from this collection. So the point of this video is if we had obviously like one 12 by 12, this would be so simple. But if you're like me and it's, you know, the end of the year and you have like these random just sheets sitting on your desk, quite not big enough to make a mini album, this is going to really just kind of inspire you to do that. And this is like a simple folio type thing, but you can see I have like a little pocket on the side here. I've got these two fun front pockets here. And then when you open it, I just kind of added some vellum just for a touch. It's just like a little folio, you know, but they're all done with little sheets of scraps because, you know, if you have your 12 by 12, obviously you could just score this and make this big album. Otherwise, it's, you know, it's kind of like a waste if you can't use these papers from these collections that you have. So that's our focus today, okay? So now again, I'm gonna, of course, give you measurements of what I've done here, but they're just random and you don't have to do it the same way I do. It's just more for inspiration. So for my cover part here, I'm just gonna take these top two here, and I think like if you wanna do a different length, you could do 8 by whatever, 9 by whatever, you know, and just keep the width the same and it'll kind of make the same album but bigger. So let's just start with kind of like the base, and I'm gonna be using a 7.5 long lengthwise and 4.5 width. So that's gonna be this, right? And then this is just gonna be another random sheet, and this is gonna be like our little pocket right here. So that's gonna make our first pocket. And it's awesome because they're just like little scraps, right? And this is gonna be 7.5 by 3.5. So let me start by just gluing that on real quick. And then we'll like round it off. So we just got back last night and I was like, I have to get in my room. I wanted to do something like cleaning up our scraps before the end of the year because we all have those papers and things lying on our desk from all those projects, right? So I was wondering, sorry, while I get my glue, is what kind of projects do you guys want to see this year for the new year? I love it when you guys have ideas and inspire me. So, you know, I like to ask you guys, and I also like to see what you guys want or need for your projects, especially like right now it's going to be Valentine's Day, right? So some of you have Valentine's Day projects. So let me glue this, and remember, just leave your top this side open because that's going to be a little pocket. Now you're welcome to just leave it like this, but I'm just gonna clean it up and corner around it a bit. If you want, you could also like take your scraps and do maybe some fancy edging right here. Or, you know, like I've done those funds where you make a nice little notch. I didn't do a notch, I just kind of left it, but you are more than welcome to. And just using my corner rounder here. Okay, so right here we already have this. Now let's do that little front pocket. So my little pockets are just gonna be 3 by 2.5 in height. Now I'm just some ideas is if you have some vellum scraps left over, you can use that. Or if you have your little pieces of paper, you can use that. It just depends how it looks. So, or what kind of look you want. So this is kind of with the vellum. And then you have these little pockets too. So it's really busy. This is a really busy paper, but I actually do love it. And I think just for fun, I had done this with the two pockets, but maybe I'll just do a vellum one so you guys can see it. What it looks like. I don't know what to do. Actually, maybe I will use the regular one, but that was just, you know, if you have scrap vellum laying around. Okay, so I'll do these two. And I didn't do anything fancy. I didn't score it. Like I said, we're just kind of using those scraps up. So it's kind of whatever you have. And I just put it a little bit by the edge right here. And then this is all just preference. I kind of just left it so that if I do stick something in the pocket, I have a little bit of room on the top. Oh my goodness, traveling yesterday. My husband's like, oh yeah, if we leave on a Thursday, And I'm whispering because he's in the house. Yeah, there's not going to be any traffic today. It should be good. And oh my gosh, you guys, we ran into so much traffic. I was like, as you were saying. Okay, so there's that. So we have this, and you could even just leave it like this. You don't even have to make the rest of the album. This is just a great triple pocket right here. And just for fun, I had put a little like bow right here. I think I'll put that on the bottom because it's kind of plain, but I used my little scrapbook die. Hold on, I left a little, if you see, there's a little piece I didn't get out. I don't think I ran it enough. Oops, I didn't. So, okay, it's just gonna sit there. I didn't run it through my die machine enough, but I don't think anyone will notice. Okay, so you've got this. Now, if you want to keep going, we can keep going. And what I have done here is for my next scrap, it's just going to be a 7.5 by 5 inch paper. 7.5 is just our length here, and then you're just kind of extending the rest. And I'm just going to use my scoreboard here because I'm just going to score it. Ooh, I forgot to write this down. I'm just going to score it at a 1/2 inch at the 5 inch mark. Okay. And that's just going to give us that little ledge to kind of extend this out. So we've got this here. Oh gosh, I got my bow caught under there. Okay. And then I'm just gonna kind of just fold this up. And that's gonna how we're gonna use this to extend our album a little bit. So yeah, if you do have the large 12 by 12, you can just score along and do all this. But if not, and you want to use up those scraps, we're just kind of extending that album a bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue the bottom here, because my scrap bin is overflowing. I don't know about you guys. I think it should be like a New Year's resolution here for us to kind of get rid of them, right? And I could go on for days doing albums like this. And as you can see, if you're already inspired by this, you could see how on and on and on you can go with this. All right, so there's that. And then again, this is another, ooh, I really didn't glue that on so good. You know what, just because I did that and it's sticking out, I think it's too late, you guys. So I'm gonna just trim it. Just this little part. I don't think anyone will notice if I just do that. Okay, so then you have your little like book here. And again, you could stop here. Then I'm just gonna keep going. So that last little piece right here is just gonna be a 7.5 by 3.5 inch. And this is gonna be the piece you can, I mean, you can extend another sheet of paper like this, or I'm just gonna use this and I'm gonna make it that little pocket. So I'm going to score it again at a 1/2 inch right here. And I'm going to put mine backwards because I want it to be on this side. So I'm just going to score here at a 1/2 inch. Get this out of the way. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and put that over here, and that's going to give us that little extra wing right there. So I'm going to glue that on right over here in the back. So I'm going to kind of just do the inside right here and glue that on to make this a cute little folio type thing. So the option here is you could actually, you don't have to make it a folder or folio. You can just leave it so you have this fun like flip out album, right? Or you can just do what I did and make it this like extra pocket, which I guess makes it a folio. I don't really know. I think what makes it a folio is a folder, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and put that down, but either way it looks really pretty. You can just keep it, or even just have the bottom glued so you have a little bit more wiggle room on the top and make it like a pretty folder. or throw it in your planner, your journals. This is just a great way to use all those things. So I'm just gonna glue the edges because I'm gonna make my pocket, and then we'll stick on our little vellum pocket here. So imagine, what would I have done with those scraps? I mean, I could have done a shaker or something else like that too. So the vellum is just, sorry, I had a different measurement on there and I didn't want to waste this, a 2.5 by 7.5 inch paper. And that is obviously optional, but if you have scrap vellum like I do, this is just another way to use it. So before I put it on, I'm just going to corner around it, just to make it a little fancy, right? Okay, and I'm just gonna glue, like, just kind of around the edges very lightly and stick it on there. You could even add some, like a pretty, what do you call it, elastic with some eyelets to make it kind of fold out. Just make sure it's not in the way, so you have this pretty pocket in the side if you have any like leftover sitting around. And if you guys remember, a long time ago I was doing these fun things with this, and it was just, they're just like adhesive. So this is just a clear like cover, and it's sticky on the back, so it has a sticker already on there. And what I like to do is just take maybe some of my scraps, like these extra scraps that I have, and this I think was in another scrap video, but I just take my 1-inch scrap and do a pattern, and you just stick this on here and it makes this pretty little embellishment. So if you even want to be a little extra, what you could do is even take like a little bit of glitter, because this already, actually mine already has a little bit of glitter, but it's so light. So sometimes I'll just dab a little bit of my own in there, and I'll show you up close in a minute. I just don't want to spill it. And I'm going to add this little adhesive thing on there, and don't add too much because you can see how it looks. And then this doesn't have an adhesive, so you could either put maybe a sticker thing on the back and run it through your, you know, machine that some of you guys do. But I typically just glue it on, or I just take a little piece of tape, like double-sided tape. And again, like I said, you could glue it on because it is scrapbook paper on your back. It's whatever you used. And I just stick it right here. So mine's right there, just a little strip. And I'm gonna put it on right here. And it makes this pretty little, like just a thing in there. And just for reference, these index cards are 4x6. So I wanted to show you how big. It'll fit like a 4x6 perfect. So if you're doing photos, or this is even a really great way to put some photos. So your 4x6 photos, if you want to store it with like the year or the event, and maybe like a memory ticket and then some photos inside, that would be really pretty too. And I've just got a little ticket hanging here. Ooh, I shouldn't have taken that off. I like this one. This is to and from. So yeah, there's a million ways you could use this. And then you've got your little side thing here. So if you want to stick tickets or whatever it is in the side. And I really like this. I think this is such a nice touch, because who's going to know that we went through our scrap box and found this, right? It just looks like a really pretty album. And I'm just going to fill these pockets in. Put some tickets and things. Oh, poor Bandit. My husband's like, oh, I'll keep him down here with me. And you guys know he does not like to be down there without me. And he's barking. But my husband got him to stop, so he's probably playing with him. That's the only way he will not be barking. Okay, and there's that little side pocket don't forget about. So yeah, this is the easy breezy little use your scraps, and I just love how it comes out. It just comes out so pretty. And like I said, no one's gonna even know that you're using your scraps with this. All right guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope I have a New Year's project for you. But again, please, if you have any inspo, let me know for the new year, because I will try and work on that. My brain's a little like foggy from the holidays, so I think it will really help inspire me too if you want more videos. All right guys, thanks so much.